The restaurant shimmered in a soft golden hue, yet somehow none of it felt inviting. Not when Emily's gaze met mine, sharp, distant, and cold enough to cut through me. I started to move my chair closer, but she muttered under her breath, "You're embarrassing me. Sit over there." Her tone wasn't loud, but it hit harder than a scream. The smile I practiced earlier, the one meant to remind her the man she'd once loved, froze halfway across my face. I slid my chair back, the legs screeching against the floor. A few diners turned to look. Emily faced away, pretending I wasn't there. I shifted down the booth, leaving a stretch of emptiness between us. I forced out a chuckle, trying to act unaffected, though my chest felt painfully tight. Things had been different since her promotion. She'd once spoken about me with pride. Now her eyes carried irritation, as if I were something she had to pull along. I stared at the candle flickering between us, wondering when her affection had turned into duty. She scrolled through her phone, smiling faintly, the kind of smile that didn't belong to me. My heart thudded, heavy with suspicion and ache. Then a woman approached our table. Dark hair, soft eyes, and a faint trace of floral perfume followed her. "Excuse me," she said kindly. "Is this seat taken?" I shook my head. "No, go ahead." She sat across from me, glancing at the space beside Emily. "Date night?" she asked with a polite smile. "Something like that." I managed, trying to sound casual. Emily finally looked up, clearly annoyed by the interruption. "Hey, she began, but the woman leaned forward slightly and cut her off unintentionally. "You have lipstick on your collar," she whispered. I froze. Emily's eyes darted toward my shirt, her expression shifting in an instant. Panic, then anger, then something close to fear. "I don't wear lipstick," she said sharply. I glanced down. A faint pink smear. Not red, pink. Emily's lipstick that night was a bold crimson, the same one she'd applied in the car while checking the mirror again and again. My pulse raced. "Maybe a waiter brushed past him," she muttered. The woman frowned gently. "You just sat down. No one's been near your table yet." Emily's glare could have melted steel. The stranger realized she stepped into something she hadn't meant to. "I'm sorry," she murmured. "Didn't mean to cause trouble." "You didn't," I said quietly, though Emily's silence said otherwise. We ordered food, but neither of us touched it. My thoughts spun, the late nights, the guarded phone, the distant looks. The pieces had always been there. I just hadn't wanted to see them. After a while, the woman spoke softly. "I'm Nina. I hope I'm not intruding." Emily forced a brittle smile. "Well, we were trying to have some alone time." She dragged out alone like it was a warning. Nina glanced at me, ignoring the jab. "You look like someone who could use a friend." Her kindness nearly broke me. I nodded faintly, afraid to speak. Emily's phone buzzed. She grabbed it instantly, angling the screen away as she typed. I leaned just far enough to glimpse a heart emoji, a message from someone saved as H. "Work?" I asked, my voice barely steady. Her jaw tightened. "Yes. Someone from the office." "Someone you send hearts to?" I whispered. She didn't answer. Instead, she rose abruptly, clutching her purse. "I need some air," she muttered and walked out, leaving her phone behind. Through the window, I watched her step outside. Almost instantly, a sleek black car pulled up. The window slid down and a man smiled at her. She smiled back. Not the forced smile she gave me, but one that reached her eyes. Then she climbed into his car. The world tilted. My stomach dropped. Nina placed a gentle hand on my shoulder. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. "It's not your fault," I said, though my voice cracked. The ache in my chest wasn't just from betrayal. It was from realizing I'd already lost her long before tonight. Moments later, Emily's phone buzzed again on the table. One message after another lit up the screen. "Had a great time earlier. Miss you already. Wish you were still in my arms." Nina looked at me with quiet sadness and handed me the phone. "You deserve to know," she said softly. When Emily returned, the car was gone. She stopped cold when she saw me waiting outside, her phone in my hand. Her lips parted, searching for words, for excuses, for anything, but there was nothing left to defend. I would have forgiven almost anything, I said quietly, if you'd just been honest. Her face fell apart, trembling. Wait, please. It's not what you think. But it was exactly what I thought. I wasn't leaving out of rage. I was leaving because staying would mean losing myself piece by piece. I placed her phone back into her shaking hand. I hope he makes you proud, I said softly, because I haven't, not for a long time. Then I turned and walked away, not in anger, just steady, certain. Each step felt like closing a chapter I'd held on to for far too long. Behind me, Emily called my name through tears, but I didn't turn around. Nina stood beneath the restaurant's soft glow, watching me fade into the night. A night that felt colder, emptier, and final.